try to ask for help. And they've taken hours and hours of their lives to help us, and Tyler does. He's the one who asked for help.
And I wanted to add as well that, I really enjoy YouTube space just because like you can see a lot of major directors out here like Spielberg and Michael Bay, and maybe we may not be able to do the crazy explosions and stuff, but just when it comes to pulling out the jib and the crane and giving that aspect, it's like, man, there's nothing better than just having that Hollywood feel, to your production. So I, for one, just am extremely appreciative for the space.
Thank you. And just a disclaimer, we have not paid them to say all this stuff, just saying.
I think these guys genuinely are kind of like a really good example of what we're trying to do on a creator level is in whatever capacity it is grow the channel for you guys, right? Like I come from a production background, so most of what I focus on when people come in is we're not trying to get into your creative and like what you're trying to do or tell you like what we think about, the content that you're trying to produce. It's not what we're here to do, but if you ask, hey, what do you think of this lighting setup? Can I improve it? Or like, this is the kind of look I'm going for, what sort of equipment would I use for that? What's good is since we see the same people usually fairly frequently, when we start to understand what you guys are trying to do, we can kind of more specifically hone in on the people who've been making pretty good use of that for the last eight years almost.
Yeah. I have a question actually. Just want to ask you guys as creatives who work at the space, sort of generally kind of like how you kind of work here, what kind of inspires you to work at the space over any other place, what makes you choose to come here, and how often do you shoot here?
Well, at the moment we're in editing mode, so basically we try to come at least 2 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, and it's been great because the whole editing suite, we can blast music and drink all the coffee we want. And meet a lot of creators, like-minded people, so feed off each other.
For me, YouTube space has really been like somewhere where I can learn, like of editing. It's bigger than just filming. It's bigger than like editing. It's like a whole streamlined process, and like the better you get at it, the more repetition. It's like it changes the game for you. And like using the best equipment and being able to book it, invite people and other creators to create with you. I think that's like one of the most valuable things like YouTube has offered for me.
How are the instructors for those workshops? Pretty good?
Alex is the man. If you ever need
Not just try to throw the most expensive stuff that we've got at you, like both Kyle and Arash, their channels, like I remember when you guys started off using smaller cameras, and now you've gone up to pretty much the most expensive stuff that we've got here. But it was a step process. It wasn't just like, oh, Solar's pretty cool, but why don't you try the $60,000 rig? It was a little bit at a time to the point where now, you guys are all competent with it and proficient with using that stuff, and that's specifically what we're trying to do, is get to know what you're trying to do, and then point you in the right direction, at least production-wise, on my end, production-wise, for like what gear is going to get you there the most effectively.
Just like the staff being extremely helpful. Alex is extremely helpful as well, but Leroy, man, this dude is like, this dude, give him a round of applause, you guys. He's really cool because like a lot of times, like since we're Strength Project, we deal with acrobatics and backflips, front flips, a lot of stunts and stuff. So where Leroy comes in is he's like really big in VR and like augmented reality and taking things to the next level. So I know he's probably like, man, Tyler always comes by here and bothers me while I'm working. But it's like I'm always genuinely interested in where the industry is going and where it's moving and how we can incorporate that type of technology into our work. And I think it's really fun, man. I think it's really fun. Just as a creator, I would say, do as much as you can to connect with the staff because they know a little bit more than us. They see a lot, so it's just like asking questions and that'll get you really, really far.
Right on. Any other questions? Oh, we have a question.
Stage 2, yeah.
That was stage 2, I remember that.
Yeah, we were hanging off the rig, and we thought it was okay. We were on the Genie or whatever it's called, and we went up to get a climbing rope up, and then I don't remember who walked in, but
I think it was the studio manager, the guy who runs the space.
So a buddy said it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission sometimes, but it was not a good idea. But
Yeah, we don't want to push the whole ask or forget this thing in. Over communicate. Let us know what you're trying to do. We will
Always.
help you do what you can do.
I can tell you that a production once came here and decided it might be a cool idea to light up the hazers and the foggers in the makeup room without telling their coordinator.